Austin Brady here with episode 9 of Band Building 101. Today, we're taking a look at what an effective game plan looks like and how you can create one for your own band. Before you act on anything, I'm going to stress the importance of a physical game plan on paper. You want something tangible where you can see and read this plan. Write out your goals, no matter how crazy or unrealistic they are. Write out a month-to-month plan for the first year. When you plan things out and break them down into smaller tasks, you realize how, achievable some of these things actually are. The first step of any real band is writing songs that you love. While you're writing these songs, you should also try to be recruiting members for the project if you're trying to build a band. I would say you want to write about 10 song ideas if you're going to write an EP. So when you're a new band, write a full length worth of songs and then take only the best songs and condense it down into an EP. You're going to save a lot of time and money by doing this. Now, with those 10 songs, I'm going to highly recommend that you buy a cheap interface or some way you can record these songs. Because when you hear songs back, it's much different than playing them. These demos are really going to come in handy later, so make sure you have them. Even though you can't rush art, it's still important you have deadlines for these things. I strongly recommend making a month-to-month game plan and be very, very specific about what you want to get done in these months. Along with being specific about what you need to get done, you also need to have a budget and a plan of what it's actually going to cost to do these things. Most prices, you can get a quick quote on Google. If you can't get one on Google, just shoot them an email real quick for whoever you want to work with. They'll probably get back to you within 24 hours. With these deadlines on your month-to-month plan, I would be as specific as you can, because the more specific you are, the more likely it is that it's going to happen. Now, if you want to do a $10,000 music video, that's going to be really tough. But if you want to have a low budget video and rent some gear, I've seen some crazy things done with the smaller budget like that. As artists, we know things could always be better, but you don't want to get stuck in a loop of writing the same songs over and over. You want to be a factory of good songs. If you get stuck in a loop, at a certain point, the song is already great. You're just rewriting a song that's already great. And yeah, it feels good to have that, but just release the song. It's done. Work on the next one. One thing I see a lot of bands doing this time is rush into playing shows before they're ready. If you want to play shows during this time, go to shows where not a lot of people are, use a fake band name, and just get the practice in. But instead of doing that, what I would recommend is renting a venue, because then you get a live sound engineer. You can ask for his help, and he's seen a lot of bands. You're paying him, he's there to help you, he wants to help you. Him helping you now is going to make his life easier in the future when you play that venue. Rent a venue, ask him for help, it's worth the investment. While you're renting the venue and performing, pretend there is a crowd. Yeah, it's fucking awkward, but you're an entertainer. If you want to be good at it, you're going to need a lot of practice. Nothing might be able to replace playing a real show, but you want to get as close to it as you can. This is what your first couple of months should look like, in my opinion. Writing, recording, getting good practices in, getting people excited for your band. This is a part where you want to take lots of pictures, lots of promos, lots of little ad mat things so you can kind of tease what you guys are doing and have fun with it. You're a band, you're supposed to be fun. I see a lot of bands that take themselves too seriously and they don't even have fun with it. It's well, no shit, no one's responding to what you guys are doing, you guys aren't fun. This can be a deadly thing though if you launch too early, so do not act without having a good solid game plan on paper. After your first 6 months, it's time to hit the studio. Do you know who your producer is? It's important, and it's important for him to know exactly what you want from the project. Remember that interface you bought 6 months ago and the demos you recorded? Well, good thing you got them. One thing you can do here is you can pick the best songs yourself, or you can send them to the producer and get his opinion. So you can send those demos to the producer if you need help picking out what songs you want to do. And nothing says you can't come back to these songs later if they didn't make this first cut. Now at this point, you usually have the option to work with the producer on the songs, or you can just get their mixing and engineering knowledge. But make sure going into it, they know exactly what you want out of the project from them. So what should the 6 to 12 months look like? Well, here's where writing down the goals comes back in handy again. Remember how we got very specific? Well, what are your goals? Do you want to tour? Just play shows on Friday after work? What is a way you can make whatever your goal is happen? Do you need to establish a friendship with the band and go out on tour with them this summer and share a van? Or are you just looking for a drummer so you guys can play shows on the weekends and have a good time? What are you trying to achieve? The most effective way to figure these things out is to write down a game plan, talk with your band members, figure out what you guys want to do, and find a way to make it happen. Because just like Gene Simmons says, don't listen to the people who says you can't do it. Listen to him, because he did do it. There's a lot of people out there who are doing this exact thing who you can get in touch with. There's a lot of people out there who you can learn from. There's a lot of people you can use as mentors and take influence from them. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be like somebody, just go out there and be like them and do it. It's a really cool thing to do. because the path is already paved sometimes. You just gotta look at the footprints and follow in them. Comment your game plan below as a promise to yourself that you're actually gonna stick to it. This is a commitment that you're making in front of the whole world, and you're going to keep it. When you get your music videos and songs done, please send them to me. I would love to hear them. Best of luck, guys.